The pyramids, marvels of ancient engineering, are a magnificent engineering masterpiece built in ancient Egypt during the period extending from approximately 2700 BC to 2200 BC in what is known as the Pyramid period. These pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs of Egypt, who considered themselves living gods and believed in the importance of life after death. Creating the pyramids was an enormous engineering challenge, requiring careful planning and massive team cooperation. Below is a detailed explanation of the first and second parts of the construction of the pyramids. Planning, Part 1. The process of building the pyramids began with an important stage, which is planning. This stage required identifying suitable sites for building the pyramids based on engineering and religious considerations. The location of construction was carefully chosen to ensure the long-term stability of the pyramids and to ensure that they were properly oriented towards the stars and planets, which played an important role in ancient Egyptian religion. Foundation, Part 2. After planning, the actual construction began with the creation of the foundation. Very huge stones were used to build the foundation, and these stones were extracted from different quarries in Egypt. The stones were placed with great care to form a strong foundation that could bear the weight of the massive pyramidal structure that would be placed on top of it. Careful orientation of the foundation was needed to ensure it was level and stable, using simple yet sophisticated tools. The preparation of these first two stages was crucial to the success of the construction of the pyramids. The heavy engineering load and ongoing technical challenges required careful coordination between the working teams and construction officers, who were managing the construction operations and ensuring they ran smoothly. Thanks to this careful planning and efficient organization, the ancient Egyptians succeeded in building the massive and awe-inspiring structures that still stand to this day, making them a magnificent engineering legacy and a source of admiration and amazement for many generations. Big blocks, Part 3. With the beginning of the foundation, the time came to use large blocks in building the structure of the pyramids. The blocks came from quarries scattered around the Nile River and had to be loaded and transported with great care. The slaves who transported these blocks used ropes and wooden platforms to load the heavy stones and transport them over long distances until they reached the place where the pyramids were built. These were complex and organized transport operations, requiring careful coordination to ensure that the blocks arrived on site safely. Transporting stones, Part 4. The stage of transporting stones required a precise methodology and a precise plan. Slaves worked hard to move stones from quarries to the construction site, and this required an enormous amount of organization and manpower. Ropes, joints, and other simple tools were used to move these huge blocks across Egyptian territory. It was a challenge not only in moving the blocks, but also in dealing with the changing terrain and natural challenges. Construction, Part 5. Once the stones arrived at the construction site, the actual construction of the pyramids began. The stones were placed with great care to form the pyramid walls in an elaborate style. Large stones were used at the bottom to form the base, and the higher the pyramid rose, the larger the size of the stones that were used. The stones are precisely oriented to ensure the balance and stability of the structure. This part of the construction required skilled artists and craftsmen to ensure the harmony and balance of the pyramid. The construction process continues continuously, as layer upon layer is added slowly and gradually. The higher the pyramid, the greater the weight of the stones used had to be adjusted. There were major engineering challenges in achieving this harmony between the different stones and ensuring that the pyramid continued to rise steadily and harmoniously. Achieving these three stages was crucial to building these massive and permanent structures. Each part reflects the dedication of the workers and engineers in achieving this remarkable engineering achievement. Internal passages, Part 6. With the pyramid structure completed on the outside, it was the turn to create the internal corridors. The corridors were designed to direct entry inward and reach the inner chamber containing the tomb of the pharaoh. These corridors constituted an important engineering crossing, which required their preparation with great care. The passages towards the funerary chambers were dug using simple tools and advanced techniques to ensure that they would be safe and accessible. The interior corridors were finished with special care, and their walls could be decorated with inscriptions and drawings representing the pharaohs and the events of their lives. These corridors were also used to arrange the priests and the religious rituals that took place inside the pyramids. Funeral chambers. Part 7. After the inner corridors comes the most important part of the pyramids, the funerary chambers. These rooms were designed to house the pharaonic tomb and its treasures. The rooms were characterized by a meticulous design, as they formed the heart of the pyramid and the place where the body of the pharaoh and the treasures that would accompany him in the afterlife were placed. The funerary chambers represent the construction phase that required precise engineering and religious techniques. It provided a place where the pharaohs were believed to be safely buried, according to their religious beliefs. Statues and luxurious furniture were placed inside these rooms to accompany the pharaohs in their other kingdoms. The walls were also engraved with symbols and inscriptions representing gods and religious events. The establishment of funerary chambers was an important moment in the construction of the pyramids, as these chambers were the main goal of erecting these huge structures. This required high precision in design and implementation to maintain the integrity of the rooms and the entire pharaonic tomb. In this way, the internal corridors and funerary chambers represent the two main parts to complete the construction of the pyramids, and they constitute the vital part that connects the external structure with the ultimate goal of the pharaonic tomb inside the pyramid. Decoration. Part 8. After completing the pyramid structure, it was time for embellishment to give the massive structure an aesthetic appearance that harmonizes with the grandeur it represents. Plaster or stone discs were used to decorate the external facades of the pyramids. These discs were carefully affixed to the outer stones to give the pyramid an attractive and adorned look. The type of decoration was determined based on the religious and cultural preferences of the era. Some pyramids featured paintings and inscriptions depicting pharaohs and deities, while others relied on vibrant colors to highlight the architectural details of the structure. The decoration process provided a glimpse into the level of refinement and artistic taste of the ancient Egyptians. These adornments gave the pyramids an elegant shape, setting them apart from other landmarks. Completion. Part 9. With the final touches applied to the pyramid, it was time to seal the entrance to ensure the safety of the pharaoh's burial chamber and prevent unwanted access. The entrance was meticulously designed and included mechanisms to guarantee its security and resistance to intrusion. Once the entrance was sealed, the pyramid was considered ready for use as a pharaoh's tomb. This moment marked the end of the construction phase and the beginning of the afterlife journey in ancient Egyptian cosmology. Legacy. Part 10. The history of building the pyramids remains a cornerstone in ancient Egyptian history and a symbol of engineering and artistic progress. The pyramids represent a cultural heritage that is invaluable, bearing witness to the evolution of Egyptian society and their belief in the significance of life after death. The impact of the pyramids is not limited to the era in which they were built, but extends for centuries afterward. The pyramids attract visitors from around the world and serve as a source of inspiration for many artists and scholars. Thanks to the use of cutting-edge engineering technology and precise artistic organization, the ancient Egyptians succeeded in constructing massive structures that embody a unique engineering and cultural legacy. The history of the pyramids remains an unforgettable story of humanity's ability to achieve great feats when intellect and willpower are combined.